Welcome to the Author Spotlight Show. Today we shine a spotlight on a remarkable woman whose story and insights fill the pages of the #1 best-selling book, Voices of the 21st Century: Wise Women Bringing Light to the World. The cover of this book features the lotus flower, representing the light and transformation this flower brings. The lotus flower blooms in darkness, a testament to its resilience and its growth. Hi, my name is Gail Watson. I'm the founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association, and I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing to you an extraordinary woman, a visionary, whose words not only leap off the page but also dive deep into the heart of empowerment, resilience, and hope. Her journey is a testament to the strength found in vulnerability, the power of overcoming, and the beauty of rising anew, much like the lotus itself. Join us as we explore her unique contributions to the world, uncovering the wisdom she shares and the light she brings into our lives. So, welcome to the show, Rachel Pietsch.
Hi, Gail. It's a pleasure to be here.
So awesome to have you, and very excited to talk about your story in this book. Congratulations, by the way. Um, uh, what I love is you start off with a line that we can all relate to. It's when life gives us lemons. So let's just dive right into that and share what inspired you to share this story.
Well, I think everyone has the moment in life where they encounter difficulties, and we can run from them or we can embrace them. And in my case, it had to be a case of absolutely embracing it, otherwise I wouldn't survive. And I think when we can hear other people's stories around that, it just encourages us. And I think when we're in that place, we're definitely more vulnerable. We're in a place of we're sensitive to everything around us. And if we can just know how other people have walked that path, and then it can give us not only information but that sense of I'm not alone. And I know it might sound cliche, but it's actually really real, particularly when you're going through something really, really challenging.
Absolutely. You start off with when life throws you lemons, and you end with when I chose to be brave, I flourished, and at the end of every day, I feel energized. I mean, it's really what we all want. So when you were writing this, and what I really appreciate, by the way, of how open you are in your story. I mean, what you say, it's almost like you were speaking right to me. You could relate to a lot of different things. So what do you want readers to take away?
I really want readers to understand that it's not it's not a terrible thing that is happening to you. It's an opportunity. Whatever you're going through, it's an opportunity to find the diamond in the rough. What we think, well, when we think we're walking over rocks that are splitting our feet and causing us so much pain, it's it's something that is turning us into something more beautiful. And again, it might sound a bit cliche, but it gives us an opportunity to make a choice. And I didn't realize how resilient I was or how tenacious I was until I had to go through this. And it wasn't long after, having gone through this experience that I went through, I read Angela Duckworth's book, The Grit Factor. I think it's called The Grit Factor. And it's a fabulous book, highly recommend it. And part of her research has been to understand how much grit or how much tenacity we naturally possess. And she's developed a questionnaire that you can fill out and discover how much grit you do have. And when I did her questionnaire, I got to the end of it and I realized my score was pretty high. And and it was after this experience. And I think it taught me how to um, how to roll with the punches, how to keep going, and just to be on the lookout for situations where I could tell myself, hey, you lived through another day. You got through that. And then you start to look for opportunities to really surmount, or to really overcome. And it becomes something that you're actually proud of. So when you make the choice to be brave and just to keep going, it really makes you feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the day. And then you realize you're not in the same place compared to where you were when you first started. So, yeah.
Interesting. Your book is perfect timing because, we can all look at our world today and go, oh, that's a lemon, or these lemons are coming my way. So I really like that you're actually bringing, uh, y- you get a lot of learning from what you're sharing. So let's talk about that. I mean, life threw you lemons and a lot of them. And, and you went through with resilience and just, as you were sharing tenacity. What, how does that show up in your life today?
Well, it just continues, I think. And when I look back and look at what I achieved, the areas where I had to step up, at the time, I would be telling myself, you know what, I have to step up for now, and I have to put things into place to just get us by. And then when all of this is over, I'm just going to go back to, not thinking much at all, or not trying to be in survival mode. And there's a measure of truth to that, but it births in you something extraordinary, because in the act of stepping up, you're learning things and you're achieving things. And for me, I started achieving in my career, and it just flowed over. So the lessons that I was learning, particularly in relation to tenacity and I guess I've always had a natural curiosity. So it gave me the opportunity to really find a reason to be even more curious. So that developed into a pattern, into a habit. And because I've seen that it's really benefited me, I've just kept continuing to move in that way. And sometimes my husband says to me, because I love to do things. I love to create, and I'm never bored. I've never got nothing to do, as a result of that. My husband says to me, are you about to bite off more than we can both chew? Because I'm just so used to, on to the next thing. Let's just keep going here. And it flows over onto him. He's incredibly supportive. But at the same time, I can't just rely on him, picking up everything else at the same time. I have to watch that my choices don't affect him too much and do too much. But yeah, the positive is that it started a momentum that is still continuing today, and I'm not in survival mode. I'm happy, and I'm achieving. So yeah, those rocks well and truly turned into diamonds for me.
Beautiful. And I appreciate this peek behind the curtain as to who you are and what you've gone through to get to where you are today, but maybe a little glimpse at what your business is about. You alluded to that and would like to learn a little bit more about what you're doing.
Yes, well, I'm a voice coach and have been for many years. And some years ago, or many years ago, I trained in voice function, which means that I can have a deep listen to voices and understand how they're working from a coordination level. So I work with the mechanics to bring about better sound, more ease, and more power. And I tell people, think of me as your personal sound engineer or your voice stylist, because I can actually change the way that people sound when they speak and when they sing. So that's what I love to do, give people a voice.
You're very good at it. I always get nervous talking around you because
Oh, oh,
as a sound engineer, you can hear
yes, yes.
anyway. Um, love your story, love this book, and Rachel, where can we get a copy of it?
Well, you can actually email me, and which is at rachel@rachelpietsch.com.au. and or you can DM me on social media. And also, us women in Australia, or us women authors in Australia, are going to be hosting a book launch on March the 8th in Sydney. So you actually can get a copy of our book there as well. So, yeah.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much. I wish I could reveal all the details of your story, but we want people to get a copy of your book. It is a worthwhile read. If you're listening right now, and if you've experienced life throwing you some challenges and wondering how you get through and how you get to that next stop, and how do I find that diamond in the rough, as Rachel shares, you'll want to pick up a copy of her book. You can email her directly at Rachel at rachelpietsch.com.au. So, Rachel, thank you for sharing your voice in such a beautiful way. And just before we conclude, because the title of the book, Wise Women That You Are, we would love to hear words of wisdom from you.
Yes, I think wisdom is something that you can't suddenly decide to be. I think wisdom comes through hard-earned experience. And yeah, just don't be afraid of the process in order to gain that.
Excellent. All right. And I will also leave, because I just love it, the conclusion in your chapter of, when I chose to be brave, I flourished, and at the end of every day, I feel energized. So if you're looking to feel energized, you're listening right now, make sure you grab a copy of Rachel's book. And we'd like to thank Rachel for joining us. And wherever you are in the world right now, we want to wish you a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Gail. It's been a pleasure.